This is Boxing Tickets NI in association with SB Sports Chaco. We're delighted to join once again. Probably nice short time frame between obviously our first and second interviews, but delighted to be joined once again with Gaughran. How are you?
Yeah, pretty good. We're on the eve of the fight, summer brawl, so we're about to weigh in, and very excited, very excited.
Funny, I was saying to Mark, obviously about half an hour ago, Mark seems nice and calm and relaxed. I think you obviously taken his sort of jittery sort of thing, I guess. It's your first time obviously in a co-promotion of the show. Is the sort of nerves there as if you feel like you're winning and you're fighting?
Yeah, almost. There's so much, with regards to having the couple of fighters on the fight, but that's all well and good when you're dealing with a promoter, and all you have to do is take care of your own side of things. So when you're dealing with the whole promotion, obviously, as you said, co-promoting with Mark. Mark's been doing it for 10 or 11 years, so he's been kind of, as I said to you before, the last time we spoke, taking me along the journey. I can see now a couple of my fighters after walking in, they look good, so that's part of the nerves. They look all right, they look lean and trim, all right? So they're here now, getting ready to weigh in. That's kind of settled it a little bit, and I'm very much looking forward to it, as I said.
I guess obviously when you have a couple of fighters on the show as well, you sort of have to be sort of maybe neutral in a way, but I guess we're always going to prime for your prediction. Obviously the main event, a couple of years in the making. They've obviously had their back and forth and everything else. You've probably seen people's views and what they thought of the fight and everything else. But how do you see Graham and Dominic? How do you see the fight going?
Yeah, like as you say, it's 3 years in the making since I think they started having little jibes at each other through interviews and online and that kind of stuff. So as a co-promoter, I was delighted to be able to make it first of all, because it's genuinely a decent 50-50 fight, and I've seen that people have had their say, and D Walsh was talking about mindset, and people were talking about Dom has coming back off a bad year last year, but Graham has recovered from his loss to Paul Keane for this belt actually, and he came back and was quite impressive against Seamus Devlin the last day. So they're kind of coming into it at two different trajectories. Dom is coming in after 2 defeats, but I know if he was to be able to take his year back last year, he would take it back. You think he got a bad dose of COVID, and in all probably reality, he was just too eager to get back into the ring. So I don't think people should look at Dom's last year or his recent record and say Graham comes in and walks through him, because I don't think it's going to be the case. Dom looks sharp, looks fit, but obviously as Graham's manager and Graham's friend, I will be confident that he can go and win the fight.
I guess it's a domestic dust-up as well. It's sometimes it's like football. Man United play Liverpool. Man United's near the bottom of the league and Liverpool's at the top. Form goes out the window sometimes when it comes to fights and stuff as well. I guess until they get in there and start throwing punches at each other, it could be a complete dogfight. It could be easy one way or the other. It could be over in 30 seconds. We just don't know.
Yeah, and that's what makes this so intriguing, because people have said before Dom has a big right hand and that's all he has, but when he fought O'Neill in that exhibition, he came across very well. Like, he can box. Graham has more amateur experience, has more amateur boxing on his record, but Dom's not coming in here just as an away fighter or anything like that. He's confident, and you'll see him now when he weighs in the scales, and you'll see by his attitude, and I've spoken to him a lot over the last little while, that he's confident. Graham is the same, and Graham can't see any other outcome bar a victory. But as you say, these domestic fights, it's not like you're being brought in against a prospect. This is a genuine 50-50, and it's going to be a cracker of a fight. Graham's going to come forward, he's going to keep coming forward. Dom's going to, I don't know if he'll do the same and they'll come and meet, or Dom might go on the back foot and try catch him with that right hand, but whatever way it works out, it's going to be a barnstormer.
Which other fight obviously you're probably looking forward to the most in the card, obviously, other than the main event?
Yeah, well, I'm managing Jamie Morrissey now, so he's fighting against Seamus Devlin early on in the card, and I'm really excited to see how he's improved over the last 6 months. Obviously, as you said during the week, he had a fight of the year contender against Robert Burke the last day, but I know I've seen plenty of footage from sparring and from the training and all that. He's come on a ton in that 6 months out of the ring, so I'm really looking forward to him showcasing what he's improved. And then obviously you've got O'Neill, Colin Murphy. Dan O'Sullivan is making his debut, which is going to be very interesting. We've got Cian Doyle, who is massively on the rise, and I know that his team have big things planned for him. So it's going to be a brilliant card from top to bottom, and then obviously we have the finish of the Celtic title with a genuine domestic dust-up.
I guess obviously just finally, and obviously Jamie's obviously going to be fighting Ben McGovern obviously on the 15th of July for the Celtic belt as well. It's probably your conversation you're sort of having to him is just focusing Seamus for now, making sure there's no any nasty cuts or anything like that, and coming through and pretty much wiping the memory and starting out and ready to go on 15th of July.
That's exactly it. Don't hurt your hand, and don't get cut. I haven't had to have the conversation really. I've brought it up once or twice to Jamie about the Ben McGivern fight, but he's laser focused. He really is. And every time I speak to him, look, we're focusing on. Even as what's the plan? It's a plan to go in and box. He said, look, the plan is to go in there and win. I've spoken to Sean Kelly, his coach, about what the plan's going to be. I'm going to get in. Seamus isn't going to be easy to get out there. If he gets him out, great, but if he can get 4 good solid rounds under his belt, take a day off on Sunday and get back out on a Monday, all systems go then for Scotland in a few weeks' time.
Fantastic. Well, look, I know we're about to do the weigh-ins here as well. I'm sure I'll obviously get a catch-up probably with you and Mark tomorrow night to obviously see how the show went. But obviously enjoy your first taste of co-promotion. We'll catch up with you tomorrow evening.
Good man, thanks Sue.